I'm John Elliott from Lakewood, Colorado. I'm passionate about cross-country skiing, and I'm really happy that you've taken an interest in this great activity as well. Cross-country or Nordic skiing is a great pastime and a great activity to get you outside during the winter months. Cross-country skiing can be done as casually as a stroll through the woods or as fast and as vigorous as you like. But whether you just want to get outside in the winter and have some fun, or train hard like a Paralympian, there are several things that we can do ahead of time that will make our cross-country ski experience safer and more enjoyable. Cross-country skiing involves our entire body. Our arms, our legs, our core, our heart, and our lungs, which makes it such a great exercise. Now, to get ready for cross-country skiing, we need to work on 4 things: strength, endurance, balance, and flexibility. On the Ski for Light website, there's a whole section with examples of how to do exercises that work these 4 elements. You can find this on the Ski for Light Focus on Fitness page, or go to the sfl.org/events/focus link, and you can find all of these things. I'm going to demonstrate some things we can do to work on strength with an exercise or resistance band. Basically, it's a continuous loop of stretchy material, usually latex or rubber. The one I'm using is about 2 inches wide, and it's about 20 to 24 inches in circumference. Now, these exercise or resistance bands come in different strengths or resistances. The one I'm going to use to show you some examples with is a medium resistance or medium strength. So it should be pretty easy to do all of the exercises we're going to demonstrate with the one that you have if it's a medium strength. I'm going to show you a number of exercises that'll work your lower body, your legs, your hips, your glutes, and your upper body, your core, your shoulders, and your arms. But before we get started, let's loosen up a little bit, warm up, make sure our hips and our shoulders are all loosened up, and get a good drink of water. See you soon. First one we're going to do is called a double arm curl. So to start this, take your exercise band and loop it over both wrists. Put your arms out in front of you with your forearms parallel to the floor. Put your elbows against your ribs and press your wrists out to the sides a little bit until you feel some resistance from the band. Now my forearms are parallel to one another and parallel to the floor. I've got my hands oriented so that my thumbs are up, almost as if I'm holding a cafeteria tray. When our hands are in this position, thumbs up, we call that the hammer grip orientation, and I'll refer to the hammer grip later on. So this is what the hammer grip looks like. Now, to do a double arm curl, we're going to start with our elbows at our side, our hands out in front of us, pressing slightly outward with our wrists to get some resistance from the band, and then we're just going to bring our hands up toward our chest and lower them back down until the forearms are parallel to the floor again. Okay? So we start from the starting position, elbows against sides, forearms parallel to the floor, hands out in front of us, thumbs up. Bring your hands toward your chest until the band just touches your chest. Okay? And then back to the starting position. Curl up, down to the starting position. This is a curl. Now the next exercise we're going to do, we're going to start from basically the same position, This is called a double arm push out. So again, we start with our hands between the exercise band. Our wrists are against the band and pressing outward slightly. We're going to start with our forearms parallel to the floor like we did before. This time, instead of curling up, we're just going to push out. Okay? This is just like we're holding that cafeteria tray and we're pushing it out in front of us and setting it on a countertop. All right? So starting position, elbows against our ribs, our forearms are parallel, thumbs are up, and we're pressing outward a little bit against the exercise band to get some feeling in our shoulders. All right? The curls work our biceps, our upper arm muscle here in the front, and this push out is going to work our shoulders and the back of our arms slightly, and a little bit of our ribs, the muscles along our ribs. So we're going to start from the starting position. We're going to push out. And now my arms are almost straight. My hands are in front of me. I'm still getting some resistance from the band. And I'm going to pull my elbows back to the starting position. All right? Push out. And pull back to the starting position. Push out. And back to the starting position. Okay? That's the double arm push out. The third exercise we're going to do that uses the same starting position is a double arm rowing exercise. So rowing is just basically pulling back towards you. So we'll get in the starting position again, elbows against our ribs, forearms out in front and parallel to the floor with our thumbs up, and we're pressing slightly outward with the backs of our wrists to get some resistance from the exercise band. All right, starting position. Now to row, we're just going to pull our elbows straight back, keeping our forearms parallel to the floor, pulling back until the band touches our chest. You can even pull back a little bit further to get some more resistance. So, starting position, row back. Starting position, row back. These are 3 separate exercises for your arms and shoulders that you can do individually, or you can combine them all together. And I'll show you how to do that next. But each time we do one of these exercises, we want to strive for anywhere from 12 to 20 repetitions. Okay, so 1 curl is 1 repetition. Second curl is 2, a third is 3. Do 12 to 20 of these if you can in a set, and try to do 3 sets of all of these exercises when you're doing an exercise session. Okay? How much time between sets? Well, it's whatever is comfortable for you. It might be 3 seconds, it might be 3 minutes. So what you want to do is be able to do the entire number of repetitions without getting too tired. So if you can only do 2 sets and you're trying to do 20 repetitions, maybe back off a little bit. Either take a longer rest or do fewer repetitions. All right? Now, let's take those first 3 exercises we did for our arms and put them all together. Okay? So we're going to do curl, push out, row. All right? So remember the curl. We get in the starting position. Our exercise band is around both wrists. Thumbs are up. We're going to push out slightly to get some resistance from the band. We're going to start with our elbows against our sides, forearms parallel to the floor, and we're going to combine all 3 of these things. So first, curl. Bring your wrist up to your chest until you feel the exercise band across your chest. Now lower your hands slightly and push out in front of you. My hands are out in front of me. My arms are straight. Now row back. Bring your elbows back to your ribs and behind you a little bit until you feel that exercise band going across your chest. Okay? Back to the starting position. Let's do that again. Curl. Push out. Row back. starting position, curl, push out, row back. Okay, if you can do these all together, do these 3 exercises as one sequence. Again, try to do 12 to 20 repetitions. Do three sets if you can. All right? Remember to keep that band stretched out a little bit so there's resistance. That's going to work your upper arms more. And keep your forearms parallel to one another, because if you let one of them angle in, the band could snap off, and we don't want that to happen. So keep some resistance against the band. Keep your arms parallel to one another. All right? Another exercise we can do with an exercise band is called a lateral arm raise. So again, we're going to start with our familiar starting position. That is with the exercise band around both wrists, hands in front of us, thumbs up in the hammer grip position, elbows against our sides. Now, this exercise is going to be done one arm at a time. The other arm is going to be holding still, so it'll be getting some work too, but we're only going to move one arm at a time. So I'm going to start with my left arm and left elbow against my ribs, and what I'm going to do next is try to raise my right arm from the shoulder as high as I can. All right? So I'm starting in our familiar starting position. Left arm's going to be static. Both forearms now are parallel to the floor. And now I'm going to raise my right elbow. Okay? And then lower it back to the starting position so that your right elbow is again touching your right ribs. Raise your right elbow. Pause a little bit and lower it slowly to your right ribs. Try to keep your upper body level if you can. Don't twist, don't cock your body, and don't strain your neck. Now we're going to do both arms and we're going to alternate. So I just showed you how to do that with your right arm. Now we're going to do it with the left arm. So again, get back in the starting position, hands out in front of you, exercise band around both wrists, pressing out slightly to get some resistance. Now we're going to keep our right elbow against our ribs and lift our left elbow toward the sky or the ceiling. Okay, left elbow up and down. Left elbow up and back down. Left elbow up and back down. The whole time I'm doing this, my right arm is stationary and my right elbow is kind of pinned against my right ribs. Now if you have shoulder issues, don't try to go too high with this. If you feel any pain, skip this exercise or only move your elbow a little bit away from your ribs, okay? Remember, be safe. If it hurts, stop doing it or ease up a little bit, all right? You're going to feel some muscle strain, but we don't want to feel joint pain, all right? The next exercise we're going to do for our upper body and arms is called a triceps press, okay? This one's a little bit different than the others, and I want you to be careful not to do this too close to your face, because as with any exercise with an exercise band, if one end comes loose, it can kind of snap pretty hard. But we're going to do this down near our waist and below, so there shouldn't be much of a chance of having an accident like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by grasping the exercise band with my right hand. I'm going to bring my right elbow into my ribs, and I'm going to bend my right forearm across my stomach. All right, so right now my right elbow is kind of in front of my right hip. My left hand is on my left kidneys, and I'm holding the exercise band, gripping it now. It's not around my wrist, I'm gripping it with my right hand. So the free end of the band now is dangling at my side, so I'm going to take my left hand, grab the dangling end of the exercise band, and I'm going to push back. All right? So I've got my right arm across my body, my left hand is grabbing the exercise band, and I'm going to push that left hand backwards. All right, so we're just basically doing what's called a tricep press. This really works the back of your arms. Your triceps are back here, and we use those a lot in cross-country skiing when we're double poling, okay? So let's do a few of those. Exercising our left arm, okay? I'm holding the band with my right hand. My right hand is near my left hip. My left hand is lower and it's hanging on to the dangling end of the exercise band, and I'm pulling the left hand back, okay? So we'll do 12 to 20 of these repetitions if it's comfortable. And when that arm gets tired, let's turn around and do it with the other side. So now I'm going to grip the exercise band with my left hand, put my left forearm across my stomach until my hand is over near my right hip. Take my right hand and I'll grab the dangling end of the exercise band. I'm gripping the band with both hands, not around my wrists. I'm holding them with a grip so they don't come loose. So now I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to push it back behind me as my left hand stays against my stomach and my right hip. All right? Push back with the right hand. Your arm straightens out behind you, and then return to the starting position and push back again. All right? Push back, come to the starting position, push back to the starting position. So those are half a dozen or so different exercises that you can do in combination or in sequence. These will work your upper body, they'll work your shoulders, your triceps, your biceps, your latissimus dorsi, muscles along the side there. And try to remember to keep your body erect and don't lean to one side or the other. Don't strain your neck. If you feel pain, back off or skip that exercise entirely. Try to do 12 to 20 repetitions in a set, and try to do 3 sets. And try to do these 2 or 3 times a week. Do them in the winter and do them in the off season too. They're going to help you for many things besides cross-country skiing. All right? I'm going to show you a few exercises that you can do with the exercise band that improve the strength and balance of your lower legs, your hips, and your core. So we're going to do these first exercises with the exercise band looped around both of our legs. All right, now this is the hardest part. We've got to put the band around both ankles. So I'm going to step through the band carefully with my one foot and bring the other foot through. Now I can put the exercise band either around my ankles, around my upper calves below my knees, or around my lower thighs above my knees. The lower the band on your legs, the more resistance you're going to get. So I'm going to move mine up and start with my exercise band right below my knees and above my calves. So guys, unless you're a cyclist with shaved legs, this may pull some hair, but we can live with that, right? Okay, the first exercise we're going to do is called clock face. So the starting position is just this. I'm standing with my feet about shoulder or hip width apart. I've got the exercise band around my calves, just below my knees, and I'm feeling a little bit of stretch to the outside. All right, my knees are slightly bent. I'm relaxed, my upper body's relaxed, and I'm going to keep my hips level as I do this clock face exercise. Now, this is the starting position for several of these exercises that we'll do after this. I'm basically in the center of the clock, and what I'm going to do with my left foot is I'm going to reach out while I'm standing on my right foot and touch the face of the clock where I think 12 o'clock would be. All right, and I'm going to bring that foot back to the starting position. The starting position is basically standing right in the middle of the clock. Now, with the left foot, again, I'm going to reach out and tap where 11 o'clock would be. Bring that foot back to the starting position. Reach out and touch 10 o'clock. Bring the foot back reach out with the left and touch 9 o'clock, back to the starting position. Now reach backward slightly, touch 8 o'clock, come back to the starting position. With your left foot, reach back to the 7 o'clock position, back to start, and reach back to 6 o'clock and come back to start. We're going to change feet now. I'm standing in the beginning, the starting position again in the center of the clock. I'm going to use my right foot now, stationary. I'm standing stationary on my left foot, and with my right foot, I'm going to step forward and tap 12 o'clock. Bring that right foot back to the starting position. Reach out again with the right foot to 1 o'clock. Come back to the starting position. Reach out to 2 o'clock. Come back to the starting position. Reach out to 3 o'clock. And back to the starting position. Reach back to 4 o'clock. Starting position. 5 o'clock. Starting position. 6 o'clock. And back to the starting position. All right? What we're doing here is we're exercising our glutes and our upper thighs and our core muscles, but we're also improving our 1 foot balance. Being able to balance on 1 foot is very important in cross-country skiing. It's also important in a lot of things we do, like walking. So this clock face exercise with the exercise band around your knees or your ankles or your thighs is a really good way to work on balance and strengthening. All right? That's called the clock face. The next exercise we can do, and we'll start with our exercise band around our legs again, either at the ankles for a lot of resistance, around the calves for a little bit more resistance, less resistance rather, or around your thighs for even less resistance. We're going to do what's called the monster walk or the crab shuffle. And this is basically just a lateral movement. We're going to start from the starting position again, just like we did with clock face. I'm standing with my feet about hip or shoulder width apart. My knees are slightly bent. I'm relaxed in the upper body. I want to keep my hips level when I do this. I don't want to bend to the side. All right? Try to keep an erect upper body, but stay relaxed. What we're going to do with the crab shuffle is step to one side with 1 foot and then follow it with the other foot. And I'm going to start with my left foot. I'm going to step to the left with my left foot. It's kind of like we're stepping out to the 9 o'clock position. This time, instead of bringing that foot back to the start, I'm going to take my right foot and follow it over and put it parallel to my left foot. I'm going to step left again with my left foot, bring my right foot over to the left foot, and step again. All right? And I'm going to go back in the other direction and lead with my right foot, stepping out to the right toward what would be 3 o'clock. Bring my left foot along, and now again sideways, and now alongside the right foot. Step right again with the right foot. Bring your left foot in. Step right again toward 3 o'clock. Bring your left foot back to the center. So try to do this back and forth. This is the this is the crab walk or the monster walk. We're just going side to side, several steps at a time. Try to keep the number of steps to the left the same as the number of steps to the right. Keep your hips level so you don't strain your back. And really you can start to feel this in your quads and your glutes after a few minutes. All right, take as many steps to the right and as many steps to the left as you can with the room that you have available. Try to do this 3 sets, just like everything else. If you get to where this is too easy, lower the band around your ankles and try it that way. All right, this is tough. So this is when you maybe have a tendency to bend your waist or strain your knees. So if this is too much, raise the band up higher, like under your knees or up around your lower thighs. Okay? That is the crab shuffle or the monster walk. We can do a variation to this if we grab a couple of light dumbbells. So we can do the crab shuffle or the monster walk while we're doing our curls, okay? So we're going to step sideways and curl, step sideways and curl, step sideways and curl, step sideways and curl. Okay, this is an added or a bonus exercise. You can work your arms while you're working your glutes and your quads. If you don't have light dumbbells, you can substitute with a water bottle. A pint water bottle weighs about 1 pound. 1 pound. Bottle in each hand, 1 pound in each hand. The next exercise we're going to do is a variation on the crab or monster shuffle, and I call that the skate shuffle. So again, we're going to start with our exercise band around our legs, either around your ankles if you're really tough and hardcore, or if you want something that's a little bit easier to do, put the band around your calves just below your knees or above your knees on your thighs. So to do the skate shuffle, we're going to start in our starting position again. My feet are about hip width apart. My knees are slightly bent. I'm relaxed in the upper body. And what I'm going to do now is instead of going sideways like we did with the monster shuffle or the crab shuffle, we're going to go diagonally forward 1 foot at a time. And this is going to simulate skating. If you've ever ice skated or rollerbladed, or if you skate on your skis, this is the exercise that's going to simulate that. So I'm going to start from the starting position, both feet side by side, placed about hip width apart, and I'm going to first step forward and diagonally with my left foot. This is as if I was stepping on the face of a clock to the 11 o'clock or maybe 10 o'clock position. So with my left foot stepping forward, my right foot is still behind me. I'm going to pause there, and then I'm going to let my right foot come forward and stand next to my left foot. Then I'm going to step diagonally forward with my right foot to about the 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock position, and then I'll let my left foot come forward and be parallel to the right foot. Well, let me back up and demonstrate that again. Okay, from the starting position, both feet side by side under my hips, left foot forward to 11 o'clock, right foot forward, side by side to the left foot. Now right foot forward to 1 o'clock, bring the left foot forward next to the right foot. Then with the left foot again to 11 o'clock, bring the right foot in, side by side, then the right foot out to 1 o'clock, and repeat. Now you don't have to stop in the middle like that. You can just keep skating forward. All right? So instead of pausing in the middle, I'm going to step forward with the left, then step forward with the right, step forward with the left and diagonal out, and step forward with the right and diagonal out. All right? So this is just like we're skating. You can do this in reverse, and this will work a little bit more of your glutes. Just make sure you have enough room where you're working out that you don't run into something, okay? So this is the skate shuffle. And if this is too hard, again, this works good 1 foot balance, but you can just shuffle or slide your feet along the floor. It's still going to give you good exercise, okay? A variation of this can be done again with our light dumbbells or with a couple of water bottles. We can do a simulation of a double poling motion, which is what we do if we're skating on our skis. We're double poling the whole time. So to double pole, basically we start with our weights, or if we're on skis, with our poles out in front of us. Our elbows are slightly bent, our forearms are parallel to one another, and we just push back with our hands. And this is a lot like that rowing exercise that we did with the exercise band and our upper body routines. So this is double poling, okay? And we can do this with the skate shuffle, just like this. Hands out in front, left foot forward to 1 o'clock, double pull back, bring the right foot forward to 1 o'clock, double pull back, bring the left foot forward to 11 o'clock, double pull right foot to 1 o'clock, double pull left foot to 11 o'clock. All right, have fun with this. And try using the exercise band in different positions on your legs. Do this 10 or 12 times in each direction in a set, and repeat the sets 3 times if you can do that. All right? The last exercise we'll do for our legs and lower body is just simply called kick butt. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to put the exercise band around our ankles now, okay? We want it to be down where there's a little more resistance, but this will work out just fine. So I'm standing again, regular starting position, feet about hip or shoulder width apart. I'm feeling a little bit of resistance on the outside of my ankles from the exercise band, which is at my ankles. And now I'm just going to simply take one foot and try to reach up toward my butt, stretching the exercise band, okay? I'm starting with my left foot, trying to bring it up, trying to bring my heel up to my left butt, okay? If you can get all the way up there, you're really flexible. All right, so I'm feeling the exercise band get tight as I'm trying to do the kick. I'm also having to stand on one foot. So again, this helps our 1 foot balance, and it's working our hamstrings and our glute muscles. It's also working the lower leg of the foot that's staying in one place, all right? The stationary or planting foot, all right? It's working that because it's making us hold our balance, okay? Now let's do the other foot, all right? With your right foot, we're gonna keep all our weight on the left foot this time. We're gonna bring the right foot up, try to kick our right glute with our right heel, okay? Kick butt. There goes my band. All right, you can do kick butt as you're walking forward or walking in reverse. Again, this is all good for our balance as well as our muscle strength and conditioning. Okay? Have fun with these. These are several exercises that we've seen now for the upper body, the lower body. I'll show you in another video a few other things you can do that work the core and can be done on a yoga mat or on the floor. But mix these up. Do some arm exercises, do some leg exercises, go back to some other arm exercises, and then do a different leg exercise. Make it fun. Don't strain. There is no gain from pain. And be sure to stretch and hydrate after you're done. The exercises we've done with the resistance band so far have been done standing up. Those have worked our balance as well as our upper body and lower body. But I'm going to show you some exercises you can do on the floor that will improve strength to your core, and for some of these it'll also work your shoulders and your legs and your hips. All right, so if you have a nice soft carpet to work on, that's great. Maybe a yoga mat or something else that's soft to sit on, that would be good, unless you've got a really tough butt. All right, I've got my exercise or resistance band again. This time, we're going to do something called hip raise, and I'm going to put the resistance band around my lower thighs above my knees, okay? So, sit on the floor, get your resistance band and work it up to your lower quads, right above your knees. All right. This is a pretty simple exercise. We're going to start by laying back. We're going to bring our heels toward our butt, and our knees will be a little bit more than a 90 degree angle bent. We're going to start with our head on the floor, our shoulders and back flat, our hips flat on the floor. put our arms out to the side for stability. And now we're simply going to raise our hips off the floor so that now we have a nice straight line between our chest, our hips, and our knees. So my feet are on the floor, my knees are bent at about 90 degrees now, and then there's a straight line from my knees all the way up to my chest. Okay, that's a simple hip raise. All right, let's lower to the floor and do that again. Okay, raise our hips, nice straight line, chest to knees, lower our hips back down. Okay, that's pretty simple, but it's a good exercise for your hamstrings and your hips. Now to make it a little bit tougher, and to put this resistance or exercise band to work, when we raise our hips, we're going to spread our knees apart. Okay? So let's get back in that starting position. Back, neck, and head against the floor. Hips against the floor also. You can put your arms out for stability. What we're going to do now is raise our hips. Nice straight line from our chest through the hips to the knees. And now we're going to spread our knees apart. Okay? Make that resistance band really stretch. And you can feel it on your outer thighs and your glutes. Okay? Knees back together. Lower to the floor. Let's do that again. Raise hips. Nice straight line. Spread our knees. Bring them back together. Lower to the floor. Okay. If you need something a little more challenging, do this exercise with your hands off the floor or elevated in front of you over your head. Okay? That's going to make your core and your oblique muscles work a little bit more as we do this. All right, let's do that again. Try it with your hands off the floor. So, starting with our back flat against the floor, we're going to raise our hips, spread our knees, pause a little bit, bring our knees together, lower back to the floor. Again, hips up, knees apart, knees together, hips back to the floor. Now, another way you can make this exercise a little bit harder is after you've raised your hips, extend one leg at a time. So you're going to be balanced basically on your shoulders and one foot. And this is going to put even more effort on working your oblique muscles. All right, let's try that. Okay, back to the starting position. I'm laying flat on the floor. My hips, my back, my neck, and my head are all flat on the floor. I'm looking at the ceiling or the sky. Got my arms out to my side for stability. And I'm going to raise my hips. Nice straight line from chest to hip to knee. Now I'm going to extend my right leg. So now I've got my right foot and my right toe pointing toward the ceiling. And I'm straight from my chest to my hips, through my thigh and my knee to my lower leg. Okay? One foot on the floor, two shoulders on the floor. Let's bring that foot back down, lower our hips, and let's do it again. Hips up, right leg out, straight, hold it. Bring your foot back to the floor and lower your hips. Okay? Pretty simple exercise, but it's really working a lot of our core and our hips. Let's do the other foot. All right? We started with our right foot. Let's do the left foot now. Okay? Starting position, flat on our back. Raise our hips. Extend our left leg with our left toe, point toward the sky or the ceiling. Pause for a little bit. Lower the foot. Lower the hips. One more time. Hips up. Nice straight line. Chest, hips to knee. Now extend the left foot. Straight left leg. Pause. Foot back down. Lower your hips. Okay? You can do a variety of things with that. If you want to add even more work to that, you can take a light dumbbell, and when you're doing your hip raises, you can do what I call throw-ins, because I used to play soccer. It's basically just a movement where I'm taking the weight from the floor above my head and bringing it up over my chest to my waist and back, okay? You can do that with light dumbbells, and that'll work your upper body while you're working your core and everything else. All right? That's called hip raise. The next thing we're going to do is called dying bug. And this exercise with the resistance band or exercise band, we're going to start with the band around our ankles, okay? Now, we're going to lay back on the floor. I'm sitting on my butt right now. I'm going to lay back. My shoulders are flat, my head's against the floor. Now I'm going to raise my feet off the floor, but keep my knees at about a 90-degree angle. So my quads, my upper legs are perpendicular to the floor. In other words, my knees are pointing at the ceiling, and my lower legs are parallel to the floor. So it almost looks like I'm sitting in a chair without a chair, but I'm on my back, okay? Now, with your arms, straighten your arms out in front of you. In other words, take your fingers and point them toward the ceiling or the sky. And this is our starting position. Got the exercise band around my ankles, and I'm in the starting position like I'm sitting in a chair and holding that invisible cafeteria tray straight out in front of me. So now, to do the dying bug, we're going to extend my left leg out in front of me, so my left leg's straight now, and I'm going to take my right arm and rotate at the shoulder and put my hand what would essentially be behind me or above my head, okay? Let me do that with the other leg and show you. Okay, back to the starting position. I'm in the chair with my cafeteria tray, hands toward the ceiling, shins perpendicular to the floor, shins parallel to the floor, quads perpendicular, knees at about a 90-degree angle. Now I'm going to extend my right leg, straighten my right leg out, and take my left arm and rotate it at the shoulder and rotate it backwards or toward my head, okay? So it's basically like doing a pointer dog if you do that in yoga, except we're on our backs, okay? Let's try it again. We'll do left leg and right arm, and then we'll do right leg and left arm, okay? So first, from the starting position, extend your left leg and rotate your right shoulder, your right arm. Pause a little bit, feel that stretch with the exercise or resistance band, and then come back to the starting position. Switch sides. So we're going to extend the right leg and the left arm. Okay? So just alternate sides and repeat this exercise, for 30 seconds or so. Try to work your way up to 45 seconds or even a minute. And this is going to work your upper thighs, your quads, your obliques, and it's going to work on coordinating your arm and leg movements, which is something else that's very important in cross-country skiing. So that's called the dying bug. Now, the last exercise we're going to do is pretty strenuous, and it's called a walking plank. And you may want to try this first without your resistance or exercise band, okay? Because this is going to really work our shoulders. Basically, what we're going to do is start from, I'm on my hands and knees, okay? This is the easiest way to start. I have my palms under me, under my shoulders. My arms are straight, my palms are flat on the floor. I'm on my knees and my toes. So basically, the walking plank, and we'll do this from a plank position, is walking your left hand forward from the starting position, then walking your right hand forward, and bringing your left hand back, and bringing your right hand back. Okay? So let's do that from our knees to start with, just to get the motion down. So Hands and knees, palms flat on the floor, hands about directly under our shoulders. Move the left hand forward, move the right hand forward so that both hands are parallel to one another. Then bring the left hand back and bring the right hand back. Okay? Left forward, left back, right back. Pretty easy, but try it with the resistance band around your wrists. Okay? So I'm back in the starting position and I have the resistance band around my wrist. I'm on my knees, my palms are flat on the floor. I'm going to shove or scoot my left hand forward, and I can really feel the exercise band start to stretch now. Now bring the right hand forward, bring the left hand back, bring the right hand back. Feel that in your shoulders? This is really starting to work because we're supporting our weight on our shoulders and we're moving our shoulders apart against the resistance of this band. So this is a really good exercise for your shoulders, but not so good if you have shoulder problems. Now, if you're really super in shape, or if you have a resistance band that's light, not super heavy, try this from a plank position. So I'm going to start in a plank position. Remember, it's just basically a high plank position. It's a push-up position. Okay? So I have a resistance band around my wrists again. I'm on my toes and my palms now. And I'm going to try to shove my left hand forward just a couple of inches. And then my right hand forward so that both hands are parallel. And then bring the left hand back and the right hand back. Okay? Left hand forward, right hand forward, left hand back, right hand back. Okay? That is a walking plank. You can do that from your knees. It'll be a little easier. Not quite as much strain on your shoulders. But whatever you do, listen to your body. If things cause you pain, ease up, cut down the number of repetitions, or don't do that exercise at all. All right? These are intended to get us strong and fit for cross-country skiing and for other aspects of our life. And we want to always have exercise be fun, healthy, and safe. Okay? So, review the videos that we've done with these various exercises with resistance or exercise band. Try to develop a routine where you do these or some of these or all of these a couple of times a week, maybe 3 days a week if you can. Do a number of repetitions that you start to feel fatigued from, and then stop, take a rest, do a different exercise, and then come back to that first exercise, do another set of repetitions. Try to do 3 sets in a session. These exercises done with the resistance or fitness band are good not only for cross-country skiing, but they're good for our general health and overall fitness. So we can do these year-round and when we're on the road because this is a very portable piece of equipment. The lower body exercises are especially helpful in maintaining and improving our balance. So a few times a week, if you do a routine with some of these resistance band exercises and add a few push-ups, planks, and sit-ups, you've got yourself a great workout. Now, let's do a little stretching, get a drink of water, have a nutritious snack, and I'll see you on the ski trails. Take care.